Good morning, everyone. Boys, I stayed up last night and hung out with the cat. I didn't do videos. I just really relaxed. I really didn't do anything. I didn't read nothing. I just relaxed, man, and slept. Caught up on some sleep, So I needed it. Today I don't feel sick at all. Whatever I had from that cat, I'm finally today's the day. I don't have anything, so it feels good, I just got out the shower, but the reason why I turned the video on is because I wanted to tell you guys how I cleared up my skin, my face, which is funny. It's hilarious because I couldn't find any acne treatment when I was working at that plant, that ferrous metal plant. All right here was dry. It was so dry and it hurt. And these chemicals that I was spraying on the belts during the winter, because a lot of these conveyor belts that were outside would freeze. So all the metal, this guy's driving a loader, a big ass thing, picking up, big piles of basically scrap and bullshit. We call it fluff because it's really just garbage. We buy garbage in a sense. Fluff is really considered just garbage. It's like all the extra shit that was left over from all the cars, because there's so much plastic in cars and appliances and stuff. And then it's, all the stuff from the ground that gets mixed up, and when the area, when these scrap yards clean up, they just scrape everything. They scrape the ground into a big pile, and then that's considered fluff in a sense. But it's hot and it's nasty. And during the winter, the belts gotta move, or the belts of rubber, they get frozen. And you gotta spray this, the sodium chloride shit, and it's good for melting snow, but it has all this other shit, and it gets on your skin, because when you're spraying it on the thing, you're using like one of those, like those fertilizer bottles you pump. That's all we use. You just spray the belt like once an hour, and it's usually good on, when it drops below zero. So, I had one of these Himalayan rocks, and I know this sounds retarded, but it's salt, and it purifies the air. And over the time I've had this for the last year, I've watched it get smaller, and I've watched it, change color. And I just cleaned it this morning. The bottom of it gets crusty. You see, you can kind of see it. It gets crusty, because the moisture in the shower, when I take a shower, it drips and then it hardens. But what I've been doing is taking both of my hands in the morning after I wash my face and stuff. I get my hands wet and I like to touch it because it's smooth, and I'm kind of shaping it, but I've been taking my hands, I take both of my hands and I do this. And then after I'm done, I touch my face like this. And when you do it, it burns like a bitch. But that's good because the salt is getting in your pores, and I'll hop in the shower and wash it out. And what's funny is I won't use any lotion. I stopped using lotion on my face as much. I still do, but I try not to put anything scented on my face. I buy this chapstick, just to clear stuff, the Moisturizer Original, and I put it on my hand. And I put it on my face after I get out the shower if it's really bad. Because in the winter, man, my face dries up so bad it hurts. Like, it burns. And it makes me miserable, like all day if I'm working and stuff. And I work outside a lot, I'm a serviceman. Still am, in a sense. So, I was always outside. All my jobs are really outside too. Even when I was working at Ferris, that's the reason why I busted my ass so much. Because, I started at the bottom at that job. I worked my way up. They didn't listen, man, they don't just let you be responsible of a multi-million-dollar facility and you're just coming off the street, they don't know you. It took me 90 days to get that job, which everybody was pissed off because they worked there for years. I never got that job. And they were trying. That tells you who I am, you know what I mean? How I carry myself, somebody that come out the street out of prison, what I'm saying, and have all this background and stuff like that, people are curious, you know what I mean? People, when they see that they're like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing, knows what he's talking about, you know. People always judge a book by its cover. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's bad. Just don't do it. But I'm gonna get ready, you know. I'm gonna get ready, and I'll let you guys in on it once I get some coffee going, you know. All that stuff. Basically, when I get dressed, I'll turn on the camera once this is uploaded. I'm sure you guys don't want to see me in my boxers getting ready, but I wanted to show you guys, you know, the rock thing. You gotta have salt in your life. Not only do you have to eat it, you need it on the outside. You put it on your body, it purifies you. You have all those positive ions on you, that salt. I like to keep it on me. Like, when I wipe my face, I wash off, obviously. Like, now I have some on there. You don't want to leave it on there without washing off because it'll dry you out, even worse. Really, all you're using that for is to kill the bacteria and bring all those nasty oils off your face before you get in the shower. And it doesn't strip your face of the oil. And that's why you're using this anyways, because even if it does strip your face with the oil, you're putting moisturizer back in. And the reason why I like this, because it actually sits on your face for a minute, you know, and it's petroleum. So it will soak in. Listen, I promise you. Don't use the chapstick though if your skin is already really oily. If you have that type of problem, like clogging up pores and stuff, I wouldn't use this at all. I would just use that and let your face dry out first, and let it heal. Because that's what's happening is your face is breaking out. It's got all those oils, all that pus, and it's infected, and you need to dry it out. You need an astringent, they call it in the medical field. Anything that strips away that gook, that nasty stuff, that salt will do it. Literally go buy that salt rock. You get them at the dollar store, the little lamps. I broke the lamp. I still have the light bulb. It's in here. I just don't use it. Yeah, I gotta get a new bulb. But I've been doing it for a long time, for almost a year now. It's made a difference, man. It's improved. Like, you can just see my skin, the quality of my skin. I don't have pimples everywhere. I'm not broken out, and I was getting bad, especially right here. It was really bad, and up here, it was terrible, and I hated it. But I did just get out the shower too, and the most important thing is not working out, it's stretching. All your nerves, all your control, signals go up and down your spine. When you're touching your toes, you're stretching out your nerves. You're stretching out all that stuff. You're waking it up. You're stimulating it. That's why I do the yoga and hang upside down, because the stomach, when I breathe, I actually want all my organs, I suck it in. I want them to go in my chest cavity. I want them to move, and it hurts. When you're breathing in and stuff, and you're moving all your intestines and lungs, you're forcefully breathing in as hard as you can and pushing your stomach, down into your chest cavity. It hurts. But that's what Jesus meant. You must be born again. I mentioned in another video, you got to awaken your solar plexus, your kundalini. That's why he said, I am the Son of Man. Because even though I'm a man, and a woman can have a child, a son, a man cannot. But what he's saying is there's a child inside of you that you must take care of, and all humans. There's your solar plexus right here. It's your kundalini. This is your love chakra. You must awaken it. And you can't awaken it. It doesn't even start moving and pumping or breathing. It breathes on its own. You'll see it when you awaken your kundalini, when you're born again, and you start doing all these, you start stretching and you start fasting, and you get that crystals, that fluid I've mentioned, that trickle down your spine and hit your head. You'll feel it. It takes a long time. It took me 3 years of fasting and eating every day healthy, but I didn't really start getting serious about it until the last year. And the last 6 months is when 6 months ago is when, so it's been 6 months, so it's been a year. It took me 6 months, half a year of being in this tub, right? And putting this on my tailbone because it hurts like a bitch. and stretching and reaching, taking my feet, right? I put my feet on the wall because I'm tall. I lay back, and what I do is I bend my feet backwards towards this wall. I keep my feet as flat as I can. It hurts. It's a bitch. I could barely move my feet this high, when I first started. Then it started getting this way and then this way. Now I can fold my feet all the way back and hit the wall. I can curl back and hit the wall all the way, no problem. I was never able to do that. I was never able to touch my toes. Even when I was 215 fit, buff as fuck, whoop some ass, I couldn't touch my toes. Never. That was most of the biggest health benefits. Physical wise was stretching my spine, it's everything. It's everything. But the best thing to do, honestly, is just put your feet up on the wall, man, and just do one leg at a time. It's hard to do both legs unless you have your arms under your butt, and you're kind of pushing down with your arms. So I leave one leg on the wall, and then I just do 10 of them at a time. I do, this leg 10 times, I rest it, and then the left leg 10 times, rest the left leg. Right leg 10 times, that's how I do it. And you'll feel it stretch down here, you'll feel it in your calves, you'll feel it even up here. If you do it right, you'll feel your whole back stretch from here all the way down to your tailbone. You'll feel it in your calves. I mean, you see my calves there? I got fucking definition, people are rock solid, but they don't have definition, they're not cut. You gotta get cut. Listen, if you want to be big, by all means, go be big. There's a reason why you're gonna be big. If I needed help and I needed some security, if I was in some shit, I'm gonna grab that bigger dude. That bigger dude's gonna put some power down, If I let that dude get a hold of me, he's gonna fuck me up. That's why I know not to let him get a hold of me, I gotta lay that big dude out before he even thinks of what he's about to do. You know what I mean to me? I gotta be that fast, and I am that fast. That's why they call me the Flash. I got many names, man. I've earned them. Do not listen. I earned these names. I've earned these names. Listen, you don't want to fuck with me, man. I'll run up in your shit real quick. You will regret it, and there's no reason for you to anyways. I've done nothing to you. And if you're a man, what I say shouldn't matter to you. If it doesn't matter, if it's irrelevant to what it is you're doing. And I don't care what it is you're doing, unless it's for Jesus. And I really don't want to put this stuff on my face, but I have all that stuff on my face anyways. It's mostly actually water. I was out of lotion. It was the end of it. So I threw a little water in there. Because my arms always feel dry right here. It's always the worst. So. And my calves. For some reason, my legs dry out more than anything during the winter. I think that's everybody though. Especially black people, man. And I think it's because you can see it. It's not that they dry more, they're more dry. It's just their color of skin, you can see it more, With Margarita, it was the same way, but Margarita never had dry skin. Ever. I've never seen Margarita have dry skin. That's one thing that surprised me. I always have dry skin. I've never seen her have dry skin. Must be a genetic thing. Or she just super healthy. Yeah. Which probably the latter. She's super healthy. So yeah, I'm gonna upload this. I'll see you guys in a bit.